should be able to see this, right? Yes? Good. Okay, welcome, February 24th, February, and it's getting warmer. That's the beauty of all this one. Technology drop-in Thursday, short agenda today, but some kind of cool stuff. I put an article in my website here on sharing your real-time location while traveling on Google Maps. So during this course of the summer, I went on a short trip. I don't know where the heck it was, not very far. But one of the things that I've always wanted to do is try and share my progress rather than having people texting me all the time going, where are you, where are you, where are you? So as an iPhone user, I can easily add other iPhone users in and say, to share my location for 2 hours. I think it's 2 hours, 1 day, 7 day, or permanently. But that only works with other Apple users. Google actually has the same thing. So you can do your under the 3-dot menu when you're looking at, I'm not pulling my phone on, but when you under your your menu, it says location sharing. I can do the same thing. I can share a location for 2 hours, 5 hours, 7 hours, 3 days, 1 week, or forever. So that at any point in time, anyone I share it with can see where I'm at. But when I go on a trip, I can also share that. So the moment that I go in and start a route and start the directions and stuff, at the very bottom, there's a little window that sort of says how long it's going to take to get wherever you want. And there's a little drop arrow there, or else there's a bar there. You just swipe it up and you can share your trip progress. So what that means is as long as you are asking Google Maps to give you directions, it's going to share those out. The nice thing is by default, it's going to say, can you share it with X users, like whoever I happen to have in my address book? But there is also a choice of saying, give me a link that I can send out to anyone. And then anyone that's got the link, they can go on, they can see exactly your route that you're going and the progress where you are in the route, which stops people from going, where are you, where are you, where are you? So that's, I love that feature. I use it a fair bit. So it's kind of a fun feature to have when you're on those long trips and to save those fun questions every 5 minutes. Google Meet came out with something called companion mode. And this is designed more for when we're back on campus and a group of us are in a meeting room. So let's say, for example, someone's doing a presentation. All of us that are on this call right now, we're in a meeting room and that screen is up on the top there and people are going through. I can still join the meeting. The problem is when 2 or 3 of us join that meeting, my audio, so any speaker sound that comes out of my laptop goes into the person's microphone who's sitting next to me, and you get this major feedback component. So Microsoft has what's called companion mode. So what ends up happening is when I join a Google Meet with a link, and again, remember there's 10 of us in a room. We all want to share the screen and stuff, but we don't want that feedback. If I join that, that means all the mics are live. But if I go to use companion mode, what that's going to do is it's going to still allow me to use the chat function. I'm still going to be allowed to see whatever is being shared. But most of the time, I'm going to be using the main display that's in the meeting room. But that main meeting room, you notice here, there's no camera, there's no audio, because that's being provided by the room itself. So again, we're in this room, we have these new video call things, and as we're doing this, we're not going to get the feedback. I can still share my screen to the group and whoever else happens to be in a remote. If I have a question, I can talk, but I can still also just do chatting here in the back there. And if I do have a question, you can see there, I can raise my hand still, just like we did. I can get recognized and then I can talk within the meeting room. Again, it's more for those meeting rooms and other people externally all trying to come together, stops the feedback and stuff, which I've been in meetings like that before, and you have to tell everyone, please turn your audio off because we're all in the same room. But we want to share screens and interact. So that's a great little function, the companion mode. Microsoft 365 Power Hour. This is just something I wanted to promote. This woman, I can't remember her name, but she runs, Laura something. She runs a number of courses and stuff for using SharePoint, Power Automate, Power Apps, all the lovely Microsoft gobbledygook. And she's very, very good at the courses that she runs. Some she offers for free, some she's offering as a paid. Even her SharePoint paid stuff or her automation ones, I've paid for them and they were well worth it. But she also does a YouTube broadcast every day, or sorry, every Wednesday at 11 o'clock. And she does, it's about an hour and it's just her sitting and chatting, kind of like what I do, but they work through 2 or 3 different problems. So you can learn a lot about the Microsoft stuff by watching her presentations. So very informal, you can ask questions and stuff, but it's definitely worth taking a look at and seeing what she's got if you want to learn those extra tools. Speaking of extra tools, save time with automations in SharePoint. So a couple months ago, I did a video. I showed you guys what could be accomplished. The link here will actually take you to a document, or sorry, a video that I've done that will walk you through the process. So again, in the process, we go through how to take files that are in SharePoint, how to add columns so you can have extra metadata, how you can send messages out to different people, either through Teams or through email. Those messages are pre-crafted so that you don't have to worry about writing anything. You just say, send this message and bang, it goes with attachments to the links. And it can also change the status of a column or the content of a column. So this is, it's about 45 minutes, I think it is. It walks you through. If you'll go to the SharePoint site under See More, there you can jump to the different sections on the video. This is something, again, I can't stress it enough how much you can take advantage of this and make your lives so much easier. And this will walk you through. You can, is this the one you can do? Yeah, you'll be able to actually walk it through and create your own, I think. So yeah, so that's a good one to really look at. Google Drive with Microsoft Teams. Okay, this is kind of fun. I'm just going to go bring up Teams here real quick. Teams, whoops, come back to Microsoft.com. Just checking for questions, nothing there. Okay, so on the left-hand side of Microsoft Teams, there is a menu, and you can choose a bunch of different items to go in there. One of the items that will appear eventually is Files. And typically, it's a place where you go in and you can search for SharePoint files or OneDrive files. They're files that are stored in Microsoft land. So just waiting for this to finish loading. Come on, be nice. Okay, let me use the other app here if it's going to be one more try. No, you're taking too long. All right, give me my other app here. Give me a sec. Okay, so here it is here. I'm going to go into here. I'm going to pull up Files. When I find it, where is it? Files. So this just is another way of going and looking for stuff. So there's my recents. I can take a look at Microsoft Teams. Should be able to do a share here. Come on. Oh man, things are slow. So as this loads up, I should be able to do a search function in here. Nope, there's all my files from the different teams. There used to be a search function. Don't know why it's there, but if I go up top here and search for the file, it'll come in and use files here as well. They also show that you can add other cloud storage. So you could add Dropbox, and you can add Box, you can add, in this case, I've already added Google Drive. So what I've done is I've actually gone in to my Google Drive. I'm just going to pull this up here real quick. So drive.google.com. I can grab this URL here of the main landing page, and I can try and add that into this piece here. What happens is I get Google Drive, I get the home landing page and stuff. The problem I have with this is there's no search function. There's not much I can do with it. And it's really kind of a pain in the butt. As you can see, there's no way to find stuff. This search function works for Microsoft, not for Google. So all I get is a folder here, which is kind of less than useful. But if I go into Microsoft Teams, into a channel, where we go? I had it here. We'll use this one for. So remember we talked about how at the top here, you add the plus sign, you can add different places. I want to use this folder here called Delete at Will. I'm going to just grab that URL. And what I can do is I can add a tab here using the plus sign. Now the plus says here's a bunch of different apps or documents, so like a Word document, SharePoint site page, a bunch of other stuff. But what we want is website. And in this case, we're going to throw in G Drive folder. And I'll paste the link there. And instead of my having to go to that website, I'm actually going to have that available now right here in my chat. Now, I still have to be logged in through my Google. I still have to have access to all that kind of stuff. But here it's pretty much a Google site. I can do a search. I can open up, right click, do all that kind of stuff, just as if I had actually opened up this page here. When I go and click on any of this, because this is not a proper Chrome website, it will open it up into the browser instead. So it still gives you a place though that you can put everything in there. I'm just going to mute whoever's on there. Here we are. It still gives you a place that I can have this channel here that we all are working on. There's a folder to get there really quickly, so people can still make use of that stuff without having to go and open up a second browser. So that was this piece here. And then the last thing is the new view called Board View on SharePoint Lists. Just going to finish it up. Okay, so this is SharePoint Lists, which is different than the files stored in SharePoint site, but it looks pretty much the same. And we've talked in the past about how I can go in and I can select different views of a document of my list of items. So here it is here. Again, this is the list. So it's just like a very simple Excel, but I can go in and I can have these different views. So I have a calendar view that looks at the dates that I have stored. So there's all these items and the dates that are associated with it. I have a view that basically just shows me the checked out stuff. And I also have one here with, if I go to all items for a sec, I've got all this here with the statuses are different checked out. I can take that information and make it into a board view, just like you would see in a to-do app. So you just go and create new view and select the board. This is what it looks like in the end. It's the same files. It's just that in that column where we had statuses, it's now put them into these different boards. So I can quickly scan through here as another alternatives of ways that things are organized. If I decide I need to move something, so I'm going to take this this needs repair one, I just click and drag it over to here, and it is now part of to be replaced. And again, remember, this is all just a different view of the same data. So when I go look for 18518, wherever that is, it should be easy enough to find because there it is. It's to be replaced. So they all work together. It's just another way of viewing your information. That is SharePoint site lists, and then that's it. Any questions? Comments? Okay, I'm going to stop the recording then.